All right, so I'm feeling really good today because I know this YouTube video right here is about something that I'm very, very excited about. I feel like I'm currently defrosting. Like, in the scene in one of them superhero movies, and they're like, I don't know, frozen or something, and then you just gotta press the button, and all of a sudden, maybe I'm thinking about SpongeBob. That one episode of SpongeBob with Barnacle Boy, and I think they're frozen or whatever, and they click the button, and then all of a sudden, this person is unfrosted. That is me, okay? I am Dreamville down. I am J. Cole all day. I'm talking about, y'all see that graduation cap back there? J. Cole on my graduation cap. This poster right here, J. Cole cover, okay? I am all about J. Cole, all right? So if you are a J. Cole fan, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But yes, I just been over here super excited because we're about to get probably the biggest album of J. Cole's whole career, and I am crossing my fingers. All right, and I'm just happy for him, and I know the a tour is gonna come after this. Knowing him, we're gonna get a documentary. I'm just so hype. But welcome to another episode of Real Relevant Resident Podcast on TracyVA Media. I'm TracyVA. Today in this episode, we are going to be talking about a couple things. So for today, I have, of course, J. Cole announcing the fall off. We got some drama between Jayda and Ari. We got this influencer couple, Kristy and Desmond Scott. Desmond was actually caught in the club making out with a mystery lady. We actually have her name, so we're going to drop it here. And we also have, why is 2016 such a big year? All right, so for starters, let's talk about J. Cole and the fall off. Oh my God, I'm so excited. If you are a J. Cole fan, you know J. Cole has been hinting this album for a very long time. The first time we caught wind of it was when he dropped KOD, and he dropped was that album? What was I'm over here messing up. Hold on, let me get the name. Is it KOD album? Oh shoot, it is called KOD. Okay, I'm so caught up in that album. Oh my God, what is even the name? But I know the song, the title track is in the album. Okay, we caught wind of it when he dropped KOD. Because there's one song with Kill Edward, and then it says intro to the fall off. And from there, he was hinting to us that we are going to get this album. And it looks like the time has finally arrived. Now, he dropped the off season a couple years ago. That was supposed to be the fall off, but I guess Cole said, not yet. Since then, he has been releasing a lot of loose singles. We got Heaven's EP and more. Cole just keep giving us songs like Middle Child throughout the years. He's been giving us songs and snippets of what's to come on the fall off. And I guess none of those songs were up to par. So Cole was just like, you know what? I'm just going to wait for the perfect time. And here we are in 2026. He has announced that February 6th is the day that we are going to get the highly anticipated album, The Fall Off. Now, y'all know I'm vice president of the Cole Club, okay? So I go hard for J. Cole. I'm seeing a lot of disses on the internet. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on TikTok and Instagram if you want to catch somebody digitally jumping people. That's me, okay? I'm seeing a lot of disses on there. People talking about how Cole's always stuck in the past. His music is a snooze fest. And I want to tell people this. The Fall Off is going to be the biggest album of 2026. And not only because his fan base, because he's about to save hip hop single-handedly, okay? Let's be real. We haven't been getting the best music in hip hop for a very long time. And J. Cole is the right one to bring us back to touching some grass. Musically, giving us bars and giving us these interesting sounds and a cohesive album. J. Cole's about to do that for us. Right when I feel like hip hop is dying out, Cole comes through with a cape to save the day. So, for starters, besides the trailer, I want to talk about track 2, disc 2. He releases a music video via IG, which is crazy. It's actually out on YouTube and more. And in this music video, let's start off with the song. The song is beautiful. It's a beautiful record. I've been listening to it every day. Not only to just paint the picture of what we could tell in this album, but it's something I need. Something that I love about J. Cole is he's just a part of all of us. And the one thing we are all afraid of is death. And death is something that is inevitable. It's bound to happen. And that's pretty interesting because when he's promoting the fall off, right underneath the album title, it says it's inevitable. And for people that are content creators or just anything you do in life, it has an end to everything. Even that job you work, it's going to end one day. They're going to have to replace you. Somebody else is going to have to come in. And J. Cole's coming through the right time with this subject. The right time with this subject because, I'm preparing for a very big year myself. And part of me is afraid that what if I'm, not good enough, or what if I take off and I fall off? And I don't know the message behind this album, but I can't say this is something we all can listen to and resonate with because we're so caught up with the fears and caught up on what could possibly go wrong and caught up on the end when we're just not enjoying the ride. So I say all that to say, when you watch the video for track 2, disc 2, art is, I don't know what the saying is, but everybody has a different perception of an art piece. J. Cole isn't a true artist. With that music video, it's a true work of art. And I say all that to say a lot of people are taking different things out of it. There's different elements that are standing out to people, but I kind of look at the full picture, and J. Cole gives us this 4K experience of, him being locked up in this room in this studio, and it branches out to him being 6 feet under, dead, and then birth, and he's talking about his rise to fame and how he's on top of the world. Like, I look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is it's a part of his story. J. Cole is still very much alive, but I take it as him just giving us this full glimpse and this full thing that he's aware of. But from my assumption, for the conclusion of the entire fall off experiences, the ride is the ride, but it's bound to end one day. And I think J. Cole reflecting on it and giving us a 4K experience was his way of just kind of celebrating and kind of giving us a clear picture of all of our lives. Like, the ride is the ride, the fall is the fall, and the fall off is bound to happen. We're all bound to leave this world one day. And that is just so incredible to me because I could see why, they said he's been working on this album since 2018. It's for a long time coming. I could see how it could take so much effort for him because this is a work of art. If you really do think of that concept, that is beautiful. That is genius. And I don't know the conclusion to the album. We're going to find out because, Cole is somebody that leaves us with conclusions with his music. We're going to find out. And my assumption is, knowing Cole, just enjoy the ride. Okay. A lot of people are also saying, real quick, I want to get to two things. We're going to the next subject. Is this the last album for J. Cole? I don't think so. I think J. Cole has more to give, and he's a rapper at the end of the day. He's not somebody that has tried to be an actor or be a model. He's just always been a rapper, and that leads me to believe that he's just a passionate rapper, and that's all it is, and that's all he ever wants to give to us. So no, I do not think this is the end. I don't think the fall off is a message that he's going to retire. I think the fall off is a message of J. Cole. he is somebody that wears his flaws on his sleeve, and it's been that since the beginning of his career. He wears his flaws on his sleeve, and I think that's just him saying, like, he's the biggest rapper in the world, but he's not perfect. No rapper is perfect, and every rapper is bound to fall off. I just think that's the message. Real quick, Jay-Z in 2003 announced that he was going to retire, and then he bounced back with, I believe, the Black Album. He was only 33. So, this isn't the first time that we felt like a huge rapper was going to retire. So I don't think that's the case. I think Cole has more to offer. If anything, I think in the album, Cole is going to give a big announcement. I don't know if it's like him maybe starting a new business or a new company, or maybe he has a new child on the way. We don't know what he has up his sleeve, but it's always something, right? And lastly, I want to talk about people's messages about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. In my opinion, Cole ain't no weak man, okay? This man, let's be real. This is probably the only person ever that has put hands on Diddy. It's a rumor, I know. It's just a rumor. But Cole is about that life, and us Cole fans know that. I do not think Cole was afraid, and that's why he apologized. I genuinely believe it's because those are his friends, and Cole loves his people. Cole loves people, period. And he wants both for these people. Cole has had a hand in Kendrick Lamar's career. Cole has had a hand in Drake's career, and vice versa. Before Cole was even famous, he had a Drake feature within the morning. So, they go way back. And I think that was just Cole's way of just expressing how much he loves, his friends. And he want them all to just win. But as for the big three, ain't no big three, because y'all know it's just Cole. It's just Cole. So moving on, let's talk Jayda and Ari. I ain't really want to talk about this because if y'all know me, I'm not really a big fan of the gossip stuff. I don't got much to say on this one. But what I can say is, for years, people have been putting Jayda and Ari against each other, in my opinion. When it comes to influence culture, I feel like Ari is the big dog when it comes to influencing. But they've always been putting these two girls against each other. Since the show Impact ATL, we've seen, them fall out publicly. But what the news is Jayda was on live, and this is just somebody that just hinted this, allegedly saying that there's a rumor that Ari has been involved with Lil Baby. And it looked like Jayda went on live and allegedly or assumingly said, confirmed, like, yeah, that's what happened. It was actually posted on the Shade Room after, so I can see this story is still unfolding. Ari has yet to say anything, but my thoughts on it so far is, if that was Jayda bringing it up, like, why is she just now telling us about this? She could have talked about this when, they were both on the show. And another thing too, Ari did just publicly come out and post to her story. I don't know if it's a story or TikTok, but she said she has big plans for 2026. She said she's ready to, fully step into everything she's capable of doing. And I don't know if this was Jayda, peeping that and being like, oh no, like I'm big dog. But in my opinion, I see Ari as big dog when it comes to a lot of things, clothing and hair, and she's just more entertaining to watch, and she's more relatable. Ari is somebody that has grown in the public eye. She has, her superstar family. She's put on family members, and I see Ari being like, like a Kim Kardashian in a sense of just beauty and other things. And as for Jayda, no offense to Jayda, but I don't really connect, like, especially like when she speaks. It doesn't come off like this is somebody that I want to like lead me when it comes to like a beauty space. So I have to give big dog to Ari. But regardless, if that is what happened, the past is the past. But I'm very interested in seeing what Ari has to say. Knowing her, she's gonna pop off. But regardless, I would love to see Ari take this situation and move on and drop exactly what she said she was gonna do, because I want to see Ari on top and doing her thing in the influencer world. I see her being a next Kardashian. So moving on. Let's talk Desmond Scott. So Desmond Scott, who is the husband of Kristy Scott, she is a big influencer. They both were doing the influencer thing on TikTok. I saw somebody say that they have accumulated $25 million in the past year. Like, these two are big money makers off of couple content. I think they have 2 kids together. They just bought a house together. And Kristy came out with divorce papers saying that she divorced her husband, or she's working on divorcing her husband. There's no reconciliation, and it's because of cheating. Before we could even fully digest the situation as people and fans, there's a video that comes out via TMZ with him full on makeout session with a blonde, a mysterious blonde. And we actually have her name here. Not me bringing up the name. So she's actually 24-year-old model Marissa Springer, and she's from Houston, Texas, and like the makeout session in Houston, Texas. And this is just days after the news came out where Kristy wants to go ahead and call it quits for this 11-year marriage. And I see a lot of people saying, why is everybody talking about this couple? You know, there's other couples out here that are going through it. But I believe it's because, you know, we have a lot of celebrities and couples that portray perfect images. So it's a big surprise being that this is one of the couples on social media that have a very perfect image. And also, you know, that just shows us the rawness behind a lot of these influencers. But besides that, we caught a 4K experience of what it looks like Desmond mentally checking out by video with Kristy. You know, Kristy does a lot of gimmicks, like random stuff, and I'm talking about backflips in the kitchen, like just random things. So, you know, there's clips coming out of Desmond clearly looking irritated with all of this. And yeah, we got a front row experience of seeing a man basically declining and falling back from this marriage. And you know, it's crazy to see him have this makeout session. I was like, was this set up? Did he call TMZ to come here, or did somebody sell a video? I don't know what the situation is, but I feel sorry for that woman. I know her DMs are blown up from the Kristy train. But regardless, I think it's messed up. You know, he could do his dirt, you know, behind doors, not in public. But this kind of leaves us to ask, how bad was the divorce? Because it seems like Desmond was ready to check out. And another thing, too, it's like if you were ready to check out a long time ago, what made you continue to, you know, play these games and entertain the public as if the marriage was still something tight? But my guess is money involved, success. You know, that leaves somebody in a very awkward position. And they've also been together since they were teenagers. So, you know, that's all he knows. So I could see why it will come off like this is a dog off his leash and he's going out to go play in the yard. You know, making out with this blonde lady that looks like he just met. You know, it's real. And another thing, too, and I said this in my last video, those couple videos, these couple influencers, that's a very complicated thing. You know, you got your workspace not only in your home, but in your marriage, you know, with your best friend and the person that you know you're sleeping with and you lay next to and you're doing these life things with. And to have that camera constantly on and you don't even know what's real. Like, imagine they on date night and he's probably thinking, like, is this really a date, or am I about to get like chocolate poured on me and it's about to be recorded and it's about to be another clip? Like, I could imagine. So I kind of put myself in both of their shoes. And as for Kristy, it sucks because I know she's in a place of embarrassment. I know she's probably thinking like a worried, like, is he going to come out and do anything else to where it makes me look like I'm flawed? So I can see both sides of the situation. But in the end, constantly having a camera on your marriage, that is something that is very difficult. And you have to find a balance, even in influencer culture alone. like solo influencers. We're seeing with Kai Cenat. He's pulling back from the camera and stepping into other things because that life just be way too much. It's beautiful seeing the glitz and the glamour and the money that comes in, but in the end, it be way too much because we're just humans at the end of the day. We need to recharge. We need to be alone. We need to touch grass. I know that's a funny thing, but it's serious. Like, even myself, I've been fighting myself, making sure every day I'm stepping outside to take walks because I'm always in front of the camera. And I love what I do. It's a beautiful thing. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I'm a human at the end of the day. Like, I need sunlight on my skin. I need to see grass. I need to open up the windows. I found that these are very important things to do. And with 2026, I'm noticing so far is a lot of people are pulling away from social media because they're realizing that without even trying, really, social media has been sucking us dry because we've been, running after going viral and running after, just getting our content out there, but we're not pouring into ourselves in the way we need to as human beings. And that's just taking a walk, enjoying ourselves, and loving on our people. So I'm praying for this couple, but I pray that nothing else comes out about them, because at the end of the day, that's a marriage and there's kids involved, and you don't want the kids to be seeing all this nonsense in the news. Like, it might not come today, but one day I'm sure it's going to come up. So prayers to that couple. The last thing I want to discuss, let's talk about 2016. So if you are on social media right now, everybody is recycling their posts from 2016. We're seeing a whole lot of blurry pictures. We're seeing a whole lot of heavy filters, a whole lot of heavy makeup, chokers, and all other stuff. And I'm here for it. I actually did a very emotional post on my TikTok not that long ago. Like, I literally crying, y'all. And I don't even cry on camera, but I caught on to the 2016 trend way before 2025 was over with. So it's weird to see everybody just now starting to catch on. But 2016 was a very important year in my life. And I want y'all to drop in the comments to how was 2016 a special year for you? But we're seeing a lot of people share their stories on the timeline, sharing their pictures. And one thing I'm seeing is that people had some sort of awakening or calling in 2016. And I find that so beautiful, right? But that leads me to ask, was it the year itself, or was there something in the air? And I want to hear y'all's thoughts in the comment section. But a little short story about how 2016 was amazing. Let me try not to get emotional. But 2016 was the year I was in a really crappy place. And I was in this apartment with this boyfriend I had at the time. And, he was just playing video games. And I was just like left to the side. And I was like, well, I'm kind of bored. What do I do? And he gave me the Life of Pablo album by Kanye West. And that was actually the year that album came out. And I just felt like I just wanted to write. And keep in mind, I was never like the most educated person. Like, I was never the straight A student. Honestly, I was like a straight D student or F student. So this was very random. And I was at community college at the time. Didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I just felt like I just needed to write. And from there, long story short, it birthed my life till today, to where I'm able to speak on this camera and talk about news. And it's like crazy. If that one moment would have never happened, I wouldn't have anything in my life. Not my kids, not my husband, not my friends, nothing. And it changed my life. And for that, I'm a journalist, and that was the birth. So it was a very important year of my life, and I always get emotional thinking about it, because I can only imagine what 2016 has done for everybody else. But besides the awakening in 2016, let's talk fashion, okay? In 2016, we were very out there with the fashion, bold things. I believe in 2016 is when influencer culture was birthed. That's where I found Heather Sanders, who's my favorite influencer. Kylie Jenner. That's when Kylie Jenner was rising up with the lip kits. She had me overlining my lips because y'all see I got some small lips. She had me overlining my lips. To this day, I have to fight with myself every day when I put on lipstick. Like, please don't do that Kylie Jenner shit you did in 2016. But fashion wise, icon wise, 2016 was top tier. That was where we saw the birth of influencer culture. As for music, Drake's Views came out. Can we talk about Controller and One Dance taking over that whole summer? Can we get that again? That was good times. Kanye West, The Life of Pablo. One of my favorite albums to this day, besides it changing my life. I feel like Kanye West doing that made people want to step their game up musically. Like, let's just stop releasing music. Like, let's make art pieces. Let's make reflections of our lives. This is also in 2016 when Chance the Rapper, we saw the rise of Chance the Rapper. I believe he won a Grammy that year. He was a mixtape won a Grammy. That was the first time that's ever happened. And, we saw a lot of streaming becoming dominant, Apple Music, Spotify. You see what I'm saying? Like, there are patterns when it comes to 2016, but musically, we have seen people really change the game. And that's why music is the way it is today. 2016 changed how we listen, speak, and we show up, and how people are not afraid to be individuals and step out of the traditional things like a record label or Hollywood or anything like that. That's why we're all able to become influencers and celebrities if we wanted to. Because as long as we got a camera, we can do that shit. And that's what 2016 has taught us. But this concludes another real, relevant, and resonating conversation. My name is TracyVA. Let me know which topic stood out to you. I want to also give a shout out to, let me pull it up. If you are a J. Cole fan and you are in Houston, Texas, there is an event. And I want to go ahead and put y'all on, okay? Because I might pull up my damn self. So it's called the J. Cole Rollout for the Fall Off Night Light Bike Ride, okay? If you are a J. Cole fan, if you are looking forward to the fall off and you feel like the listening experience needs more, we need to celebrate. And you also like to bike ride, okay? Houston, Texas, it's going down on 3409 Emancipation Avenue on February 7th from 6 to 8:30 p.m., okay? We are riding bikes and we are listening to J. Cole's The Fall Off, and we are also making friends. So if you're interested in that, I will drop the flyer right here. But that is all. And if you are a J. Cole fan, go purchase that Born Sinner hat in the description. My name is TracyVA. Follow me on Instagram at TracyVAmedia. On TikTok, TracyVAmedia. And we're keeping it real, relevant, and resonating all day. And hit the subscribe button. And I'm going to see y'all next time.